Princesses of Skysea with me singing Outcast songs. That's not true. And I'm shaking it like a Polaroid picture. Thanks, Keith. Keith's on team me. Perfect. So, that being said, show's canceled. We're just going to sing the entire time. No, for real, though, we are back with episode 6 of The Princesses of Skysea, where we're going to pilot a giant robot eventually. I promise. Or Keith's fired. We are here. We're role-playing for you guys. It's going to be a super awesome time. If you want to support the channel and see more of our shenanigans, you can do so by going to our Patreon and subscribing there. That's the best way to do so. And if you want to join the conversation and chat with us nerds, you can do that by joining us in the Discord. And if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see that there is a bar there that is incorrectly named, but will be fixed momentarily. That is the Twist of Fate bar. Once that bar fills, Keith will inject a twist of fate. That is one use of that bar. The second use of that bar is every amount of money that goes into there goes back to these wonderful players that you see here. So if you want to help get this specific cast paid, throw your money at that bar until I pay these people, and then that's what will happen. That being said, I will turn things over to Keith for a wonderfully well-prepared and not completely off-the-cuff recap. Keith, take us away.
Hello. Welcome to the Outcast Show.
No, we went over this already.
Now, ladies.
No.
Previously on the Outcast Show.
Do you want to be a Princess of Skysea?
Yes. Well, actually, Princesses of Skysea are a very crazy, strange homebrew world inspired by She-Ra, He-Man, Steven Universe, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and most recently Voltron. And utilizing rules and tools from Masters of Umdaar Fate World by Dave Juria and Evil Hat, and using the core rule set of Fate Accelerated by Evil Hat as well. Recap from previous episodes. While our group was pursuing the renegade Queen Zinnia, who is Princess Poppy's mother, through the Hyperwoods, they found a temple slash spaceship mecha thing that revealed the party to be the Shattered Goddess. That perhaps they were meant to be one person. Who knows? We're figuring that one out. And they are now kind of on a quest to find the crowns necessary to place into as keys into this Voltron-like temple to reactivate it. Also in that temple, they found a map of the galaxy, which seems to be in serious threat of being eaten by the Hyperwoods on all different various planets, including Umdaar, the planet that we are hovering over in the Skysea over Umdaar, the floating planets over Umdaar. So they continued pursuing Queen Zinnia to a rift, where they found right on the edge of the rift a cathedral spaceship fortress thing with a mechanical beehive. Maybe they were bees, maybe they were beetles, maybe they were wasps. We don't really know. They're in the Hyperwoods and they're strange, but robees seems like the most catchy phrase. So we're going with that. They infiltrated said facility and got to the server core of sorts and smashed it with mighty pounding. There was also a wrangling of a beetle. I think, what was his name? Bullet?
Yes.
Bullet?
That was his name.
Who has joined the party as the fifth player.
You gained a pet. It's great.
And escaped the crashing explosions and pursuit by the strange robot bug things through the rift, and found themselves in New Maria, which is the capital of Numaria, in the sewers. And in those sewers, they found some royal guards of Queen Sidus, who is Natalie's character's mother. And they had been stuffed in some kind of cocoons which we determined to be the process of making vampires, because nothing is just normal, of course. And so freed those figures, stowed them away on top of Bullet's back, and toted them up from the sewers into the midst of New Moria, which we found the city to be in a form of revelry, having closely approaching the glorious Cake Day. But it actually wasn't because of Cake Day, but instead because of a grand tournament that Queen Sidus is hosting, for the winner of which will receive the crown of Numaria, because she believes that the greatest warrior should inherit that, rather than her single surviving daughter, who is too busy with purple hair to be considered for queen.
Rude, Mom.
It is quite
Very
rude.
true.
And yes, and we left off with the kind of revelation that Wesley was having, that there was a ring around this city, if we recall, that this strange ship in the Hyperwoods was kind of one node on, and a feeling that if a center point in the middle of that ring was activated, much like a straw being sucked, it was the metaphor that was aptly used, the entire city of Numaria would be sucked to devastating effect into the realm of the Hyperwoods, and that would be bad. And that center point is where it has been announced that the crowning ceremony would take place, in kind of a sacred site that is off limits to all normally throughout the years. So that would be bad if a person who is fighting for the Hyperwoods were to achieve that. End of recap. So you guys are standing in the midst of the bustling streets of New Maria. We have some aspects of overflowing with machismo and oglers. So we have kind of citizens of the village that are milling about and ogling, and then there are many machismo warriors who are kind of showing off their skills and dueling one another in the streets because they just have so much energy and strength that they need to get out. But there's also this strange sense of underlying fear and uncertainty in the citizens, because the crown of their beloved queen is kind of up in the mix, and they don't want it to go to someone that they don't like, of course. And the city is in the midst of celebratory chaos. So
I believe when last we left our princesses, Vesper was charging through a crowd to go sign up for the tournament.
Yeah, pretty much.
With Wesley in her wake.
yes, signups.
Because if anyone can become a queen, it's Wesley.
So Wesley and Vesper are signing up for the tournament. Is that what I am understanding? All right. The sign-up process involves a lot of rolling on random tables, and no, you guys sign up. You sign up successfully, and there aren't really. You sign up successfully. Excuse me.
No one interjects that a vampire boy is signing up to be the queen of Numeria.
Nope. All good. Fine.
All right.
I'm your reference. It's great.
Cool. No doubt. Let's go. Let's do this.
Well, it is a strange moment because as you're signing up, the royal guard who is signing you guys up happens to also be a memory vampire, though wearing a large amount of concealer, so to speak.
No concealing death. I do have a quick question regarding not concealing death. Consequences, Keith. How long do they stay with you? Forever times?
Consequences go away when you hit a minor landmark.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I have a cake snake all up in my business still.
Hey!
Oh, the smoke snake.
Yep. Just so we're aware, class, there's a cake snake inside Wesley. So,
Yes. Speaking doubt into your mind of why would a vampire boy ever be qualified to rule as a queen? There's so many reasons wrong with that.
I am as glamorous as they come. I have a red cape, my hair is very nice, and I could be a queen.
Wesley, who are you talking to?
The cake snake. Remember when I ate it and I said, don't eat the cake snake?
I remember that. Why you haven't passed it yet? Shouldn't it have gone through your system?
No.
Is that not how your body works? I don't know how your
I mean, I
body
feel like it's only been like a couple hours.
I don't know.
Do vampires poop?
That's rude and a very personal question, Poppy. Do princesses poop?
Princesses definitely poop.
Yeah, accurate.
I had no idea.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Huh. No. Vampires don't poop.
Oh. That's weird.
Well, I
Mom,
mean-
get rid of the snake.
I don't know. Welcome to Skysea, where vampires don't poop.
That's how this works, right?
Keith, would you sell this book as a supplement to Umdaar? Make sure that's the tagline.
Princesses poop, but vampires don't. A Skysea novella.
It's like the lusty Argonian maid, but worse.
Perfect.
Oh no. Yes.
You wrote this on yourself.
That's okay. Not ladies. He looks over and he says, I don't really know how to get rid of the cake snake.
Have you tried throwing it up?
No.
Okay. Option 1. Option 2 no, it'd probably be bad if you tried to cut it out.
Yeah. I'm still alive-ish.
Try to eat like a cake bird that eats cake snakes.
That's a great idea. Do you have a cake bird?
Fresh out of those.
Well, if you see a cake bird, let me know, and I will eat that too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you asked it nicely to leave?
No, I don't really talk to it. It just does its own thing. It's not really bothering me. It just,
But weren't you just talking to it?
Yeah, it's annoying, but like it's annoying like Nair's annoying. So it's not like causing me any discomfort. It's just it says mean things.
So exactly. So you kind of have 2 Nairs.
Yeah, just one's inside me.
That's weird, but okay.
I know.
You've had a very strange afterlife.
I did. Also, that guy's a vampire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in case you were wondering, he's very bad at hiding it. He's covered in makeup. You can tell because of all the makeup.
Lady. I don't think.
Oh, that's right. There
determined
are only ladies in Numeria. That lady's a vampire.
There was one dude named, I want to say Steve, and I can't remember what his job was.
I'm fine with that.
The last time.
That lady's a vampire.
Is that a problem? Do we think?
Well, since I was the only one before, and now I'm not, I think it might be a problem.
And it's not like you guys like reproduce or anything, so that you make more, right?
Yeah, we make them by, remember the cocoons?
Make them by hand. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got like a bunch of them down there that are unconscious, but that one hatched or woke up out of its pod or whatever.
As you mentioned that you'd found a bunch of them down there and glance back, you see the beetle bullet and the stack of covered bodies on top of it, and an arm that has kind of stuck out from the cloak that you've covered them with.
Oh yeah, we really should also figure that out.
Yeah. I mean, do you think we should go back to the castle?
I think so. I think that's probably the best place.
Okay. To the castle!
Let's go. When do we have to be back to do the contest? Should probably figure that out. When do I need to beat people up for my title?
At dawn.
Ooh.
Okay, and I'm assuming it's not dawn?
Yeah, we'll say it's evening.
Cool.
Great.
Huh.
Let's go.
Time works very strangely in the Hyperwoods, so very little time at all actually passed in the real world from the time that you stepped into the portal at Goddess Palm all the way to this point. But you are like an entire few islands away in the sky.
Okay.
A whole Skysea away.
Fun.
Now,
Huh?
Poppy, I know that you don't like being a princess, but we're going to a castle. Is that going to be okay?
Yes, it's not my castle.
Okay, but they're full of other princesses and people that are princess adjacent, and so they're going to know that you're a princess.
Mostly princess adjacent. I mean, because my sister's not there right now, so I'm kind of the only princess.
Right, so the only princess in the castle knows that you're also a princess. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm fine with that, Wesley.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like allergic to being a princess.
I don't dislike princesses. I just don't want to be a princess.
Oh, I thought you had like a allergy or like an intolerance, like milk.
I don't think she's got a princess intolerance. Otherwise, I don't know why she's been hanging out with us this whole time. Besides the fact of, somewhat necessity. But...
That and we keep dragging her along.
I know. I'm sorry.
I mean, you kind of do.
Yeah, every time she tries to leave, something else happens. Like a vampire, or bees, or a temple.
Or cake.
Or cake! Oh, today's supposed to be cake day.
I know, I'm kind of disappointed there's no cake. I was hoping they were celebrating cake.
That sucks.
I know.
You know
Guys.
what? Yes.
Castle.
Oh, yeah, there's cake in the castle. Obviously, that makes so much more sense. Thanks, Poppy.
Perfect. Let's go to the castle. Oh, also with Bullet. Come on, Bullet. Here, Bullet.
All right, you guys journey towards the castle. If you recall, the city is laid out in kind of concentric walled circles. And so there's kind of a winding path that, a gate is here, and then you're going to the opposite end of the castle to enter, or the opposite end of the city to enter the gate. In case it is ever sieged, it has kind of just an incredible difficulty in doing that. And those concentric circles are going up towards the peak of kind of this hillside where the castle is. And after you pass through the next set of gates, you are moving past the kind of gladiatorial area, which is actually the ruins of a very ancient temple that the roof has kind of collapsed and been discarded. And so now the support pillars of this ancient temple are used for the traditional Marian dueling, gladiatorial dueling, which I want you guys all to think about American Gladiator on top of the pillars with the long posts trying to push one another off.
Bugle sticks.
That is the style of Numerian gladiatorial competitions. And as you guys enter that neighborhood, it is completely swarmed with people. And you find that it is indeed in the midst of the early round of the competition. So there are some grand warriors standing atop these pillars, jousting at one another, while floating above that overhead is a floating barge, the royal barge of Queen Sidus, that Natalie, that Vesper would know, that her mother likes to oversee the competitions from a distance, where she cannot be bothered, and can kind of, it's like the box seating at a baseball game or something, right? Except it's floating in magic. So,
is there an aggro crag? Can that be a thing? Do we remember that? Can we date ourselves by remembering the aggro crag?
Yes. Yes, but it's pink and it's really sparkly.
To be fair, so was the original aggro crag, so we're fine. Completely on brand.
Oh, I thought it was like snot green because that was the Nickelodeon colors.
It was like hot pink and purple, and like smoke was coming off of it, and it was like shiny.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Oh my god! So there was a thing on Nickelodeon that was like a spoof on American Gladiators, but for children, and there was a giant mountain at the end, and it was called the Aggro Crag, and it was covered in like pink and blue and purple lights, and it was just the final challenge. And I will find you a picture. It's amazing.
Please do. That's what I get for living in Canada. We didn't have Nickelodeon, so for a long time.
Guts, Nickelodeon Guts.
Games and sports.
Oh, geez.
Yep.
Cool. So this where my mom's pretty much hanging out. It's up there by magic. Would I know whatever way it is to get up there, considering I don't do magic?
If people need to contact her, well, oftentimes there's smaller vessels that can be taken up. So if people are like coming and going from this pleasure barge is kind of like think like Jabba's little floating barge. It's big enough where like a lot of people are hanging out on it, and it's mostly like royalty and whatnot. So there are other vessels that like the cooks and stuff will take, and the bakers perhaps with cakes that they would take to deliver. So you could go to the airship docking station or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's the life. You just sit on a barge and someone's like, and brings you cake.
Yeah, right?
Floating cake temple.
Goals.
That's a dream. That's my goals in real life.
Yeah, for real.
So what do we do?
I mean, should probably tell my mom about the guards. Maybe then she'll give up on this whole stupid competition and just give me the crown.
Oh yeah, but there was a guard who was doing sign-ups who was a vampire, and so maybe your mom already knows that they're vampires? Maybe your mom's in it. Maybe your mom's a bad queen.
I mean, maybe.
Not to imply that your mom's a bad queen, Poppy, sorry.
Maybe.
You're muted, but I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure your mom's fine.
Am I muted still?
No,
oh,
you're
there
good
we
now.
go. Oh, there we go. Now we're good. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Because I think your mom's a bad queen.
She's a bad queen.
Meanwhile, Bullet is just following you guys with this stack of bodies.
Stack of bodies.
I mean, they're alive. They're just unconscious, right?
Yeah, we still need to get medical attention. Okay, so how about this? Like, let's go up and talk to my mom and see if she is in a mood or not. Tell her we got some bodies and see if we can't make space somewhere in an infirmary of some sort.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, there's a bunch of them here because, you know, we spend all our days beating each other up. So, I mean, you know, injuries are bound to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's maybe check, like, the total vampire population of her to her knowledge.
Yeah.
Because if she says population 1, we know there's a problem.
That's me.
Yeah, because it's you.
This is a good plan. I'll follow your lead.
Oh, God, okay.
You're a princess here.
I am, apparently, although that doesn't seem to matter.
No.
Doesn't Vesper's mom expect you to follow her lead?
No.
No?
No, I'm just here to protect her. Sometimes her lead is very bad and gets her into trouble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, what did you say?
Nothing. Great times. Let's get cake and bring it up there.
He said sometimes you get into trouble.
That's true.
That sounds accurate. Sometimes I make a door and the door doesn't lead somewhere very good.
Or it didn't need to be made at all. That's most of the time.
That's a lie. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. They almost always need to be made. They just don't always lead to the right spot.
Okay. They don't need to be made.
It's a hard art form to know, you know, exactly where you need a door.
When, where.
It's a cut twice, measure once kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like Poppy knows magic and can weave, arcane sorcery, and Vesper punches holes in walls. So it's a subtle skill. Same thing, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. I'm perfectly fine without magic. And she gets pouty faced.
So,
all right, what are you guys doing?
Poppy, are you gonna fly us up there?
You don't need to. There's
Stairs? Hallways?
Oh, I just thought because we were talking about the magic thing, and then
there's the airship things that we can take to shuttle up there.
that's fine too.
Okay, we're gonna go find one. And cake if we can at the same time.
Ooh, cake.
Well, it just so happens you're passing by the bakery district on your way to the...
How convenient. What a strange narrative device here.
The bakery district, who is very familiar with Vesper and Wesley by this point.
Of stealing pastries.
Cake day, cake day. Today is cake day.
The entire bakery district is frantically working to bake cakes for the Cake Day celebration that will commence at the as the tournament is resolved. So the whole district, apparently there's an entire district of people baking cakes frantically, lots and lots of cakes because it's going to be the greatest cake day in Skysea history.
In my head, I totally picture that scene where anytime the bad guy walks through town and everyone's like, oh no, it's Vesper and Wesley, and they just start shuttering their doors because they have old school 1920s shutters, and they're just like, oh no, this is terrifying. They're back.
They have cakes like cooling in the windows, so they have to take them down.
Yeah. No. Perfect. No one seems to be open. It's like I smell cakes.
They're closing their windows when they see you guys. Maybe what did you do?
I didn't do anything. I just got here.
You've done something.
What did you do before getting here?
I fought a bunch of bees.
And these means before that.
I
And
fought
before
a
the cake monster, before the snake cake,
spider.
before the laser wolves, before...
I ate a pot pie full of bugs.
Oh, that was gross. I think before that.
Like last time you were here.
Yeah,
Ate a lot of cakes.
we did.
Were you supposed to eat those cakes?
No one stopped us.
Yeah. I mean, cake is for eating.
Yep.
So...
What do you do
Did
with
you
cake?
ask before eating them?
I did. I said, hey, Princess Vesper, should we eat these cakes?
And I said yes.
See? Perfect. And then we did.
Yeah,
And they were
it was
good.
great.
Yep, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have no idea why they would be closing their windows. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna go up to one of the doors and knock on it.
A frantic apprentice opens the door and is like, "Oh, princess, how can we help you?"
Hi, I was just hoping maybe you had like a spare cake lying around. I'm gonna bring it up to my mom.
I think the canon of gender roles in Numeria is that men are all bakers.
Perfect. I love this world building.
Yep, and just making it up. You want to bring cake up to your mother, but they're not ready yet. I thought I got the impression that all the cakes need to be ready by tomorrow.
Yeah, but we need like a tester cake. I don't know if it's even any good.
Okay, surely we could procure a tester cake.
What about a chocolate lava cake? It's okay if they're not done in the middle.
True. You don't have to bake them nearly as long. They don't need icing or anything either. It's pretty simple.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
He thinks.
And he shuffles in back inside.
See, they love us in the cake district. I don't know why all the doors are closed.
Maybe they're just really busy because it seems like they need a lot of cakes for tomorrow.
Yeah.
After a moment, the apprentice returns and looks very nervous, but he has a cake that indeed has not been frosted, at least all the way. And he says, "Don't let anybody else but the queen taste this. There's supposed to be surprise flavors in it that I was told are not to be eaten until tomorrow, but I feel like the orders of the princess and the queen kind of would trump all that. So just don't tell anybody about this, okay?"
Can you tell me what the surprise flavors are?
It's above my pay grade to even know what it is.
But why is it only the queen then can have it? Why can't we?
Oh, I mean, you could have it too. I just my boss told me that I couldn't serve it to anybody, but I feel like you and the queen give orders to my boss, so your orders are more important, I think.
Okay, great.
That's a good thought.
Okay, thank you. If we figure out the secret, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Have him taste it for you first. You should order him to taste it for you.
Did you want some cake? She'll just look at the apprentice and ask him.
Oh, I would never. This is special cake day cake. I wouldn't.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. It's cake day today, and tomorrow's cake day too. So if it's a special cake day cake, you can have it now.
Cake day 2 electric boogaloo. Anyway.
Frosted boogaloo.
Frosted boogaloo.
Vesper, I think you should make it more of a command than a question.
Ooh.
Okay. Mr. Apprentice, I command you to have a bite of this cake.
Ooh.
That sound okay, Bobby?
That sounded better.
Okay.
He takes out a fork and then.
Because all chefs
kind
just have forks on them at all.
Yes, it's from his belt.
It's from his belt.
It's a specifically tasting fork, a long-handled tasting fork next to his knife and his the cake spatula.
Yeah, Keith has seen a chef before.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, the cake district could probably have very interesting ways of doing things.
Batman of cakes.
I've seen the Great Numerian Bake Off many times.
Yes. Which Vesper has tried to be a judge on every year, but they keep saying no.
We just keep watching it on Skyflix.
Oh God, I'm good.
But it's a good bake. So he holds his quivering fork and looks back and forth between the cake and Vesper and says, "Well, if it's a command, then I suppose I'll just take a little bit from right here. But please don't tell anybody. Don't tell the queen that I took a bite of her royal cake."
I won't. We'll hide that side. It'll be fine.
And he scoops a bit off and takes a bite and says, "It's the most delicious cake I've ever had."
But what's the secret flavor?
Yeah, did you figure that part out?
It's clearly not poison.
Well, that's good.
Oh, yeah, Noah makes poison cakes, Bobby. That's just silly.
He's thinking about it for a long moment, like kind of licking the fork and like examining his palate. And then after a long moment, starts to get a little bit unsteady on his feet, and then just slumps to the curb.
Just kidding. It was poison.
Well, now I'm never going to know the secret flavor.
It was poison.
Yeah, but you can still flavor a poison cake. What did it taste like?
Tastes like poison.
That's a terrible tasting cake.
I know.
Hide it behind like lemon poppy seed or like a orange something.
Weird. This was supposed, and didn't he say before, the whole death thing, that this is supposed to be a flavor that, like, everybody's doing?
Yeah. And that everyone's going to eat it tomorrow.
Also, who's trying to kill your mom? And are they trying to kill everybody? Are they making vampires out of everybody after the cake?
To clarify, he is not dead. He is snoring loudly.
Oh.
I don't think he's dead. Oh, wait. That does make sense, though. It's way easier to make someone a vampire if they're sleeping and not moving at all.
Oh.
Yeah. You're
That's
way
pretty
less.
much-
You're way less fighty
That's-
if you're asleep.
Scary.
Punch him in the shoulder and wake him up or something.
The baker, not me. NyQuil, the secret flavor.
Gross. Very gross.
It tastes like grape and awful.
My sore throat is gone.
Yeah, but I feel great.
Okay. Think we should still bring this up to my mom
Okay.
and see what she thinks.
Okay. I agree. But we should probably move the baker out of the street. And Wesley goes to scoop the baker by, like, his armpits and drag him back. Excuse me! Just coming through! Just have a baker! No, shh.
Caking bake.
Okay, he's caking and baking! And he just sort of, like, floop, and drops him inside and then, like, closes the door back up.
There was a huge bustling commotion inside of people at various Seussian cake baking machines.
Well done.
Conveyor belts of the cakes being spit out. And
I like it. There's a man... And he closes the door. All right. Well, good deed done.
Yeah. This is kind of scary, guys.
How did you know the cake was poisoned?
Yeah, how'd you figure that one out?
Because the guy was acting weird.
Yeah, but how did weird
Like,
guy
wow.
equal cake poison?
Because he was like shaking and said, only feed it to your mom and nobody else. And there's weird things aloft.
Oh.
that was just my stellar roleplay, Kai.
It's very convincing. Oh. Does your magic let you detect secrets and lies?
No, but I did work in the carnival for quite a while.
And that lets you be a wizard.
No, that just lets me know shady situations.
Oh.
And this was a shady situation?
Yes, very shady.
Well, I'm glad we have you with us.
Yeah.
Because I would have eaten that cake on the way up.
Yeah.
Down the block, you hear the roar of commotion from the crowd as you would guess some gladiator has just triumphed over another, and the crowd is roaring, and some fireworks are exploding in the sky.
Ooh. Okay, we should go. And Wesley starts walking towards the barges.
The air docks.
Yes.
Is that the right direction?
Yeah, the barge dock.
We need one of those to get up to my mom. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Wesley starts heading in that direction through the throng of people hoarding the streets.
All right, you guys arrive at the docks. They're the Eyrie, I guess. There's like a cliffside launching pad for these ships, and then they circle around in order to gain height. I don't know. And there are some officials that are. There seems like much more of a lockdown than usual. You would guess probably because there's so many people in town, and there's such a celebration going on, and perhaps. Maybe the queen is trying to keep people from visiting her unwarranted. So there are some guards that are standing at the basically the entrance to the docks, and they also appear to have some pretty heavily caked on concealer.
Oh wait, hold on, I got this. And he's just shouting into the crowd. Now presenting Princess Vesper to anyone that will listen.
Yeah, that's
The once and future Queen of New and Old Maria. Ta-da!
Give me a flashy roll here.
Oh god.
Oh no. Part of me wants to ask Poppy for help, but the rest of me just wants you to be like, no. I rolled a 2.
A two is a fair result. So I think, you make a whole bunch of commotion, and indeed the crowds around you are all turning and looking, and there's a lot of murmuring going on of like, Vesper. I thought Vesper was away on a journey to Badgeria, and like there's some kind of commotion, but there are many individuals that grovel. There's a lot of like kind of baker traffic right here with people moving around with like dishes to wash and some merchants peddling their wares from a cart. There's like a street vendor of some kind of fried foods that is a crab person from the Celestial Protectorate who is like clacking his claws together in a way that you would guess to be applause of some kind.
Damn it, Keith. See, Bobby, sometimes it's great to be a princess because you can just shout that you're a princess and people get out of the way.
That's the whole point. I don't want that attention.
I don't understand. You didn't want the attention of being a princess, so you ran away and joined the circus to be a wizard.
But it's not a princess.
I feel like it's queen, princess, circus wizard. As far as things that get attention.
Yeah, I'd actually even put circus wizard up there because you're going around and performing all the time. I normally can just run around and hide, and they don't actually know that I'm around.
Yeah.
Until I punch something.
Yeah.
But then you're responsible for it. Nobody holds the circus responsible.
No, she's not responsible for almost anything. Usually
True, yeah.
I'm responsible for it.
It's true. It's great. That's the other reason why we have Wesley around. Bodyguard and scapegoat.
I don't think it works for other people like it works for you two.
You could try. If you're the princess, you can make up rules. That's what Vesper says.
You could also get a Wesley.
Yes. Well, no, you have to get a different one.
Yeah, not this one. This one's taken. This one's part of this kingdom.
Well, it looks like there might be some with concealer on here. We should inquire about getting one.
That lady right there is a vampire too.
That's a lot of vampires here.
Yeah, like all the guards.
Yeah, so we thought we saved the guards, and it doesn't look like we did at all.
Well, we saved that pile right there on top of the bee doll.
There's like a bunch of limbs just hanging out of it at this point.
Well, while we have everybody's attention, should we maybe walk through?
Yeah, let's keep going, guys.
All right, you guys are walking by, and the guards that are standing watch at the entrance to the docks cross their halberds before you and look on at you menacingly and say, "What is the meaning of all this?"
Hi, I'm Princess Vesper. I'm here to see my mom.
Yep, I think I said that.
Yeah.
There is a strange lack of recognition in their eyes for a long moment, but you, Vesper, definitely recognize them in all the memories of growing up in this queendom.
I know everybody.
You know everybody, right? But they don't seem to recognize you. And then there is a flash of insight on one of them. You would guess perhaps is remembering the name and saying, Princess Vesper is not in the city at this moment. We were told that she would be in Badgeria.
I was. We went. We saw the circus. Brought back a wizard, actually. But guess what? I'm here now.
Well, that is a joy to hear, and just in time for the
Say
tournament.
that with more enthusiasm in your voice. You know that, right? Like, you're allowed to have enthusiasm.
Of course.
Wow, Keith. Yikes.
Yeah, it's super good that I made it back in time for this tournament that I didn't know was happening. What's up with that?
Well, how might we be of assistance to you, Princess?
You can let me up to see my mom.
But the Queen has requested no visitors.
Even her daughter?
She didn't specify, but she did say no visitors.
I'm not really a visitor, I'm family.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure as family and as a princess right now, I can go wherever I want here.
Do you want to make a some form of roll?
Yeah, sure. Oh, what's it gonna be?
And I will say that you can invoke the advantage that Wesley created with the royal fanfare.
Excellent.
Oh God, you put that on there.
I think I'm going to.
Because there's a lot of attention, even if these guards seem like, not interested. There's a lot of the citizens around the area that are paying a lot of attention to you. So
Yeah.
that holds sway.
Yeah. I mean, I always want to say I'm taking a forceful approach to everything, but I'm not sure that really. I'm being forceful with the words. Otherwise,
Sure.
Okay. Oh my God! How no? Okay. Can I use?
Wow. Yeah, you should re-roll that. That was four minuses.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's basically a crit failure. Yeah.
My
Excellent.
re-roll is way better.
Excellent. And what were you invoking to re-roll?
I was actually going to invoke the advantage of like the crowd, the royal fanfare going on, and just the talking, the murmuring of. We've built up the fact that this is Princess Vesper that's shown up here. She is the princess of this place.
Yeah. So as you're saying that, and there's being like very stubborn, there's a royal baker passing by who's like covered in powder and whatnot, and he says, "You idiots, let her in. She is the princess here to see her mother." And like pats you on the shoulder and is like, "I'm surprised you didn't stop and steal any cakes from me."
Do that on the way out, but thank you.
Psst. Hey, what's the secret ingredient in the cakes? I won't tell anyone that I know.
I have been sworn to secrecy about the secret ingredient. Even I don't know what it is. And I'm usually very proud of my secret ingredients, but orders came from above my pay grade.
Oh. What does it look like?
How many people are above your pay grade?
Oh, he's a lot. He's a baker.
He's a baker.
Oh.
He's not even like a royal baker. He's just a regular baker.
I didn't convey this, but the guards have like let you in, of course. With a 6, I think you succeeded with style. So actually, one of them is going to escort you past all the other checkpoints and whatnot to a barge, to actually your barge that you have crashed in your teen years many a time. You've run over several mailboxes with it.
Yep.
But yes, what does it look like? It's strangely silvery. We've been calling it quicksilver.
That sounds ominous.
Poppy, would you be able to use magic to figure any of that out?
I've never tried. I can try.
Okay.
You could do anything in Fate.
I can do anything with magic.
Yeah, you can. Cool, because maybe we should try to figure this out so maybe we can make people stop doing it. Stop poisoning cakes.
You want me to figure out what's in the cake? I'm confused.
No, what's Quicksilver?
Like what?
Oh.
I mean, is it meant to put people to sleep? Is it meant to kill? Is it meant to just give them an upset stomach?
Do I have to have like a... Can I just roll for this, or is it something I have to have like a aspect for?
I'm not totally clear on what you guys are talking about. You're trying to figure out what Quicksilver is. Like he just kind of made up a nickname for this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that they've just been calling it that.
We believed it 100% fair.
Yeah, hook, line, and sinker. Your amazing role playing, Keith, sold it to us.
But I'll give you like a careful roll if anybody wants to do the like equivalent of sense motive to like gain more information from this baker.
You know what?
I am not careful.
Or clever. I would
I'm
clever. Clever.
I also am clever. I will roll that.
Okay.
3.
So you're asking about it and kind of watching him, and he looks nervous. And then he leans close to you and says, I wouldn't talk about the Quicksilver in front of the guards. They seem to be heavily involved in this process and very protective over it.
Oh. Which ones?
No, just the royal guards. They're the ones delivering the stuff from some elsewhere, bakery or lab or what. Not you didn't say lab.
Did you see a lab?
Thanks, transparent Keith.
Did you say a secret underground lab beneath the castle?
As it has a lot of Tesla coils and alembics and dusty books.
Does this lab have a skylight that retracts in storms only?
Yes, they bring the cocoons up on a pedestal.
For the harnessing of lightning. I think I've seen
all
this
that was like not memory flashbacks, but your imagination. There you go. This is all just moments from your imagination.
Sure. My imagination of memory flashbacks.
Yes.
That is my power. Okay, so thanks. And he turns over to Vesper and Poppy and says, "The guards know about the Quicksilver. They deliver it." And then he points to the guard leading them.
Try not to make too many doors anywhere around here, Vesper. I'll see you around. And the baker leaves. The nameless baker leaves the scene, but not our hearts and minds.
Loved forever. Especially with the promise of future mysteries.
Keith, your turn of phrase reminded me of a thing that parents say to children, but is literal in Vesper's sense, is that you do, in fact, make a better door than you make a window. Nailed it.
I love it.
Kai is slowly smiling because she says that to her kid.
Most definitely.
Get out of the way. You make a better door than a window.
Yeah.
It's Mom 101.
That's actually how Vesper started making more doors because she
She was told that
Right.
so many times. She's like, oh, well, great.
I
am good at making doors.
Yeah, no. And then one day her mom regretted it.
As all moms always do.
This is the show.
Yeah.
So we continue through the crowd, Keith.
Yes.
Shenanigans
Okay.
abound.
You arrive at your personal solar barge, Vesper. What does it look like? How is its interior decorated?
To no one's surprise, it is the gaudiest, most outlandish one out there. It is neon pink and glittered to hell.
Yes.
Which is just very strange. Went very neon colors. I don't know why. I'm just thinking pops of lime green, bright yellow on there as well, just to really stands out.
It was all that 90s music at the beginning of the show.
Pretty much where that's
what it
coming
was.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like laser patterns along the side.
Oh my god, completely. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So you guys are
coming.
you guys are escorted in, and of course you have no one has been driving this. You have the keys to your own vessel, so to speak, and you are free to fly about the city.
Oh God, is Vesper driving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Vesper, are you a good driver?
I'm great.
Wesley's shaking his head.
Why
No, I'm
are
not.
you shaking your head?
No, I'm not.
Why are you shaking your
I
head,
wasn't.
Wesley? Are you lying to me again, Wesley?
Yes.
Why? It makes my hurt when you lie to me like that.
Well, sometimes you crash all the time.
I do not. When was the last time I crashed?
Last week.
No, they ran into me.
It was a building.
Still ran into me.
It was not moving.
They should have seen me coming. I'm really bright. They should have moved.
Okay, you got me. Oh, that's why they closed the doors on Cake Day.
Why?
The last building you crashed into was a cake building.
Oh yeah, because they didn't have a drive-through.
Yep.
So I was trying to make. Fun fact: it's so much easier to make doors than it is to make a drive-through.
Yeah, but what is a drive-through? It's just an elaborate door.
Exactly. Apparently, I'm just not at that skill level yet. I gotta keep practicing, but not today. Maybe later. And suddenly nobody is questioning why the queen has held a tournament for the kingdom.
Keith, you keep giving us things like we don't... Like we're not going to destroy whatever you've made. You're like, look, I made this beautifully crafted plot, and here you go. Just...
And here's a flying car.
And I'm going to
crash into it with
drive through into this entire universe if it doesn't already exist.
Yes, exactly. Oh,
Okay,
no.
but actually, drive-through bakery totally should exist. I need to find me one.
It's called a Tim Hortons.
Well, I think
better.
probably there are probably merchants that peddle street food up in the sky for all the people who are like trafficking in their little airships.
So food trucks in the sky.
Yep. And they're like high clientele, right? Because just normal people can't afford these barges, right?
They're high clientele because they're...
Yes,
Flying
because
in a
their elevation is also high. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Natalie, do you feel like you would drive, or do you feel like you would have a butler or somebody?
Vesper thinks she can drive.
Yeah, I assumed as much. Yeah, but I just wanted to check.
There's probably a couple times where she's had somebody else drive, but otherwise, and that's when she's cake, and so priorities. But otherwise, she is driving.
That's terrifying.
Yep.
All right, so you're flying over the tournament in progress toward the Queen's Barge.
Yeah.
All right. There actually is a ripple of commotion in the crowd. It's like between matches at this point. So as you guys are flying overhead, you're seeing several Amazonian figures like climbing up the rope ladders that have been suspended from these pillars in order to get into position to do the next round. So it's kind of quiet, but there's a ripple of commotion as you're flying overhead as people recognize that's Vesper's barge. Barge is the wrong word. I need this is her ship, her boat, her airboat.
For the record, this airboat totally has a really obnoxious sounding horn.
Yes, and it blows glitter out.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
It's the John Cena music.
Yes.
And a hand comes out and just does this.
Confetti kind of flies in the air.
Or is it the Polaroid picture?
No, it's not the
There's
Polaroid.
two settings for it.
Or is our gesture more like a cake? Glossing. Sorry. All right, so you arrive at the Queen's barge.
I made my noise so that way the entire crowd down there totally knows that I'm here.
Yeah, and give me a flashy.
Oh wait, I'm actually not bad at flashy. No, I am today. What is with my rolls today?
Yeah.
Get a tune. Me too, guys.
Yeah, the horn doesn't work because it hasn't been tended well by your the royal airboat keeper. Yeah. So yeah, it makes a paltry sound, but there still is some like a bit of interest in the crowd, or curiosity, I guess, as people are like looking up and squinting. Well, I guess they're not. Yeah, it's dark, but they're looking up, and you've got your headlights on. They're candles. Future tech. In any case, you arrive at the barge of the Queen, and it seems to be like quite heavily guarded. And actually, even as you're approaching, you're seeing guards that are like loading these like kind of like scorpion style crossbows, right? Like anti airboat crossbows. And one of them just shouts, proceed no further. Announce yourself. Who is this who dares approach the Queen during the tournament?
The only one brave enough to drive this thing, Princess Vesper. Do you not recognize the airship?
Princess Vesper, and there's some whispering among the guards, and then one of them, the like captain, you would guess, runs to go get the Queen from her viewing deck.
Man, they seriously thought that I'd be out of town like a lot longer.
Well, they didn't expect you to take the Hyperwoods back. So the Queen herself, Queen Sidus, emerges. She wears the crown of spears and swords that you are well familiar with. The crown in question for the tournament itself, and like any great Marian warrior woman, she is wearing her gilded silver armor with resplendent mirrored shoulder pads and a spear of legend from ancient Duria, who was kind of the founding grand warrior of ancient Ameria. The spear refracts some like runic letters in the air as the moonlight glistens off of it. And she has, I think, long, straight white hair and an aquiline nose. And there's my lengthy description on that. And she stands at the edge of the platform and is noticeably to Wesley not a vampire.
Oh, good.
She says,
I have good news. Your mom's not a vampire.
Oh, good. I was worried.
Me too. Give her the cake. Oh, wait, no, don't give her the cake. No. I take it back. Sorry, I got excited that it was cake, and then I panicked because she has a mean face on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shh, calm down. Calm down. It's going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
My daughter, you have returned so early.
Yeah, it's been a crazy wild adventure, Mom. Yeah, do you have a minute? I have a lot of questions. Can we talk?
Of course. And she like motions to her guards, and they somehow you guys dock and you unload from your airboat onto the barge, and the guards are kind of looking you over suspiciously. And
as I get off, I say to the guards, "Can one of you go in there and clean out the horn? It's like something's stuck in there."
yes, Princess will get right on it.
You might warn them about the bee with the bodies.
Oh,
Is that that's in the boat?
Yes. Oh, also, there's a bunch of guard bodies that we found. You might want to get the medical attention.
I should note that these guards are also vampires.
Never mind, not you.
It's just easier to tell you than to make you roll for all this.
Thank you.
Are they not? This seems like they Wesley knows his kin and can sense it. But yeah, the royal guards that are tasked with defending the queen herself are vampires. So what do you tell them?
Go fix the horn.
They go fix the horn.
Yep. Bye. But I'm gonna, if we can get, Psst, Poppy, can you get Bullet to kind of just keep following us? Kind of want to show Mom what has gone on.
I command the horse. Bee.
the bee, beetle, wasp thing.
Like a seahorse, but bees. It's a bee horse.
Yes.
All right. He follows you. Shuffles along on his little beetle feet. And you guys enter the grand kind of feasting area of this of the pleasure barge. And indeed, some other royalty is there, which just gives a weird feeling to you, Vesper, that as you're seeing royalty around, including, God, what did I call her? Princess Pyle, the sister to Prince Pyle from episode 1, the gelatinous.
We have another gelatinous cube.
Yes, is feasting on some fine Numerian dishes, and various other princesses abound. And it's sinking in as you're seeing them all feasting and enjoying themselves, that they come from far away, that they must have been told ahead of time in order for them to be here on time, because especially Princess, this gelatinous princess, would not brave the Hyperwoods to be here in an urgency. So you feel like maybe you were left in the dark on some things.
Left in the dark on a lot. Ouch. Interesting. Okay.
But you're led past all of that and into the private chambers of Queen Sidus herself. And she sits on her noticeably comfortable throne-shaped chair, and the rest of you are left with uncomfortable chairs. There's actually only 2 chairs.
Huh. If anybody wants to sit, go for it. I'm not sitting for this.
You can have this seat. I'm used to standing. And he motions to Poppy.
Go sit.
I'll sit and cross my legs, very straight back, very business, seating.
I suppose you have some things to say to me, daughter.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna pose them more as questions. Because, okay, so I don't even know where to start. 1, why are all of them here? Why is there so many princesses here? Why wasn't I told that they were coming? Why did you then send me to the Badger Kingdom away from all this and then plan a tournament that you didn't want me to enter clearly because you don't want me taking over the kingdom, it seems like? Also, are you aware that most of your guards, if not all of your guards, except for these 10 bodies that I have here right now, happen to be vampires? Also, why are people poisoning cakes? There's a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. I sent you away because I don't think that you have the strength to sit this throne.
I could lift that throne.
I am losing a battle that I don't have the strength to win.
What battle?
With the Hyperwoods. And I know that you would not have that strength to win that battle.
I've taken down a castle recently in the Hyperwoods, Mom. So You know what? I probably could, but you just don't trust me.
These are some tall tales for my tallest daughter.
Excuse me, I fought an entire castle.
An entire bee castle.
It's an entire castle of bees. Let me tell her.
I think you're muted,
I'm
Kai.
muted. Sorry, always muted.
It's almost better because like we can see you clearly moving your lips too.
What did you want me to tell her that you didn't tell her?
Just back me up. Say that it's true.
It's true.
I don't know what you're expecting out of me. Do you want me to just cancel this whole tournament and give you the crown because you've made up some tall tale about...
I have made up. Okay, Mom. Here. One. Okay, so we're gonna deal with this in 2 seconds. 2, do you know that your guards are vampires? What is the population of vampires in Demiurge right now, Mom?
I was not aware that my guards were vampires, but as I said, I'm losing a battle. The Hyperwoods are closing in, and I don't have the strength to beat them.
So you're using vampires. Are you knowingly doing this?
They're still keeping me safe.
You are aware that they have brought in poison and are poisoning all the cakes for cake day.
My guards are?
Yeah. They're bringing in this like silverish liquid. We have a cake here. We can go test it on not one of the guards. They're probably gonna be too smart to know to not eat that, but like we can go test it on somebody. One of the princesses out there.
You have a poisoned cake, but what does that mean? That all the cakes for tomorrow are poisoned?
Yep. Leslie, Poppy, you guys saw it? You guys know what happened?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious why you don't trust your daughter with the crown since she's been here for a whole half a day and learned more than you have in weeks.
Yes, and the cake makes people sleep, and then when you sleep, it's really easy to make you a vampire. So maybe the vampire guard is trying to make your whole city into vampires, and then you're really going to lose a war with the Hyperwoods, because right now there's a castle that we didn't totally defeat, but we totally fought the castle that's sitting right above the area that's supposed to like there's a circle around the castle, and then if the circle completes again, because we stopped it because we're super awesome and we made doors, if the circle completes again, it's gonna suck up the whole of Numeria into the Hyperwoods.
Yep.
Yeah, all that word vomit too.
In the middle of your explanation, Queen Sidus shouts a name, which Vesper, well, both of you guys recognize as her assistant, Nyla. She's like, Nyla, and this woman, finely dressed woman, enters, and she's like, cancel cake day. And she's like, ma'am, Queen, Your Highness, I don't know that that's the best idea. The people will riot. And she's like, it doesn't matter. There's been a complication. Just cancel all the cakes.
Nyla,
have them destroyed.
Can you open your mouth, Nyla?
I don't test the cake on her. We don't need to prove this point right now.
Are you sure?
I'm because then Nyla can't tell them to cancel cake day if we make her go to sleep.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Just gonna put that out there.
So you've gotten to the bottom of some things in your time here, but I would suspect that if Evensong was here, that none of this would even be happening.
Oh, she's a vampire.
Evensong's a vampire. She tried to take over the kingdom of the Badger Kingdom. Can't remember what it's called. Badgeria.
Badgeria.
She tried to take over that. So they've actually arrested her right now. So technically, because of also us, we're not at war with Badgeria either, because I was able to at least convince them that they were allowed to hold her captive right now. But she's also a vampire. She also almost killed herself too. Wesley's a hero and saved her life.
And she almost killed the other Badger princess, if not Honey, that I forget her name, Delilah. And that's really queenly.
You found Evensong, but you didn't bring her here?
Yeah, she's in prison for war crimes.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. Because if we had tried to take her out, Badgeria would have gone to war against us.
And she's a vampire.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my favorite daughter is
Ouch.
still dead.
Ouch. Rude. One.
Wesley holds up the cake.
Poppy, you know what? This whole being a princess thing, I'm starting to think is also kind of BS. I am starting to realize that you got to be awful to be a queen and just hate on your kids. So
We need the crown.
No, Vesper, I think you would be an excellent queen, but I think your mom is kind of a bad person.
kind of a bee.
Yeah, I was like, what can I say on this show?
I mean, you can say anything. I don't have a rating.
Talking about like
This
dudes on a spaceship last night. I could probably say a bad word.
Yeah. So on unMadeGaming, there's no rating, but this 1980s children's show, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, this is the raw copy before they bleeped everything out.
This is the VHS behind the scenes.
Censorship, yes.
Like all the old G.I. Joe shows had those moments where people would just like their mouths would be moving and there would be no sound, and they're like, "What is happening there? Did they cut that out?"
Yep.
Yeah, just because you made some doors in Badgeria,
Ouch.
just because you've tromped through an enemy land and made a scene of yourself and come back with many stories to tell doesn't mean that you should be wearing the throne or wearing the crown.
Wow.
One, I'm not going to wear a throne.
That would be a statement.
I'm sorry, what have you done lately?
I have held this queendom together against an unstoppable tide.
We have a
Cool.
bee full of corpses. They're not
we
corpses.
So about 10 of your guards right now aren't vampires.
Yeah, and there's a hole in the sewer that leads to the Hyperwoods.
Oh yeah, that's also fun.
And I
That's
closed
probably
it with a
gonna break.
net.
Yeah, but that might not last forever.
No.
So
Well, you should institute these guards that are not vampires as my guards and send the rest home and leave me be. I have much to think about.
Well, they're unconscious because they were becoming vampires.
yeah, they actually need medical attention, but I didn't want to trust sending them with your guard because they're vampires and therefore would have just probably taken them back and made them vampires again.
Yeah.
Vesper, I just need you to sort out these things, these problems that you've brought me on your own.
That sounds like the work for a queen.
Pretty sure that these problems are all your problems. You just didn't know that they were your problems yet.
You know what? It makes it easier to solve queen problems? A pointy hat.
He means a crown.
That's what I said.
Here, Mom. Put me on trial then. Cancel this tournament. Give me the crown and let me have a hand at this. What do you have to lose?
If you win this tournament, then you can have this crown. That's
Why
better
not?
chances than you were going to have in Badgeria.
What do you mean better chances than in Badgeria?
Well, I sent you away so that you wouldn't be troubled with all of this, but since you're back, I suppose it's only fair that you compete like everyone else.
Yeah, I've already signed up. Too late for that one. It's cute that you think you can stop me, but I'm going to be queen.
I'm not trying to stop you. I'm
You
trying
are.
to
You're
get the
pushing
best
me
person
away.
on the throne that can be.
But that's been me. I have been training my whole life for this.
You've been training to break down walls and steal cakes.
But I
And-
can't break
and
down
crash
the
your
walls
barge.
of your heart.
Get out. Natalie, you're done. You're done. Show's over.
I think that needs to be an aspect on your character.
Oh, can't break down the walls to mom's heart.
To Mom's heart. Yep.
Punching down the walls of heartache. Bang, bang. Vesper is the warrior.
Yep.
Oh, that is now her theme song. And
So
That's where we play the outro. That's it.
that's where like the camera like pans around her.
As she's training,
Yeah.
as she's breaking down one wall after the next.
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious. While this intense mother-daughter spat is going on,
just steal the crown for me. That's just so much faster.
Wesley looks over to Poppy and goes, Poppy, psst, shh. I know that you don't like queen business or princess business or any other business besides circus wizard stuff. But what if we take the sleepy cakes and we give them to all the other people in the tournament, and then if they're asleep for the tournament, Vesper just wins. And then she's the queen.
Wesley, I'm kind of impressed with that idea.
Thanks.
Good one. All right.
Okay, cool. I didn't expect you to say yes. Okay. Tournament
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Fine, mother. I will fight in your tournament and I will win.
And I will give you the crown if that is the way that it happens, but I suspect it won't.
Man, you have like no. It's almost surprising that I've turned it the way that I have, considering the lack of emotional support that I've gotten from you growing up and even in this moment.
You shouldn't need emotional support if you're a true Marian warrior. You should just need your armor and your weapon.
Yeah, all I need is my fists. I'm fine. Punch my way through this competition. Come on, guys, let's go.
Let's go. And he like winks at Poppy. No?
No.
Because of the secret? Because
What? Just go.
secret. Okay. Okay. Goodbye, Mrs. Queen. I don't know why I said that. And then he gets back on the boat. I got nervous.
For the record, I left the pile of bodies up with Mom.
As we walk out, I'm going to use magic to like slam the doors like hard as I can.
Yes.
Yes.
The barge door.
Everyone that are like in the little like royal balcony all like turn to look very quickly. What is that? You know, is the queen angered? But then see you guys, and Princess Pile waves some gelatinous appendages. And you board your airboat.
Yep. And we'll go. Guys, I don't know what to do now. I mean, we gotta go. Oh, God, I have to prepare, I guess. How do you prepare? I don't know. Fighting montage? Sure.
Oh. I had an idea, and I told
Okay.
Poppy, and Poppy said it was a good idea, but I'm not sure if I should tell you the idea or if I should just do it and surprise you.
Surprise me!
Perfect.
Oh, well, I've had a good surprise, so.
It's a surprise about... Never mind. It's a
Yeah, probably
surprise.
better.
Yeah,
Also, if Poppy approves of it, like, it's gotta be a good idea.
that's what I thought. So, why don't you do a training montage, and then we'll go work on your surprise.
Okay. Sounds good. Cue Vesper training for the next however long.
And the song.
Yes, with that song.
Hard to win if you survive.
Wesley, I was thinking
Yes.
maybe we shouldn't do this
Oh, no.
because Vesper's capable of doing it on her own. She doesn't need our help. And it'll prove to her mom that she's not, being silly and getting out of everything.
Okay. I guess.
And she'll win. We both know she will.
Yeah. That's not super true. Sometimes she says she can do stuff and then she can't do stuff. And then she tries real hard and does it anyway, and it's not always the best.
Examples. See all the drive-thrus she's attempted to make in Mario.
Yeah. You don't get a bodyguard just by being a princess. I'm also a babysitter.
Well, what if we do little things to help? Like, you know, if somebody pulls ahead, like
deliver cake to the strongest contenders. Is that still the same thing?
It's still the same thing. I was thinking like maybe like trip them or something.
Yeah, but then they just fall down. Also, how do you trip them when they're way up there? And he points to like the Pugil towers.
Oh, are they like not near us? Do we not see it?
They're actually below you guys because you're like.
Oh, we're flying. That's right.
Yeah, you're flying down, and actually the contests have ended for the evening. So there's like there's some lingering crowds that are all like drinking and revelry and whatnot, but they've dispersed. They've dispersed considerably, and now you can see lights like of taverns and whatnot throughout the city that are overflowing with revelry.
But that was the competition, right? There were columns, they were doing pugil sticks on the columns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wesley, I guess you do know Vesper, and you do know this kingdom best. So I'll go with your expertise.
I do? Okay. I mean, she might be mad, which is why I didn't tell her what the surprise was. But, like, also, we need the crown because of the giant statue monster that we become.
We should use a giant statue monster to punch her mom.
When we get it, but that means you need to get your crown. We need 5 crowns. 4 crowns.
Mm-hmm.
1 from you, 1 from Vesper, 1 from Honey, and a boy crown.
Mm-hmm.
Which is distinctly different somehow, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah.
It's
we'll
smaller.
figure it out.
It's a lot smaller.
That's fair. It's far less elaborate. It's just like a circlet. It's like, this is...
What if we just give them like a tiny piece of cake so they don't fall asleep, but they're just like drowsy and groggy?
Well, that one guy ate 1 bite and fell asleep.
So we give them crumbles.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. What if
Just put it on your lips and kiss them.
No.
Yes.
Numerian fighters are handsy.
Vesper's voice in the background. Yeah.
Numerian fighters are handsy. I don't do that. But what if you do it with magic and you just and you float the crumbs?
Ooh, we could try to see how that works.
Works better than me smooching.
We don't need magic to blow crumbs out of our hands.
But into their mouth.
We could just get close.
That's weird, don't you think? If you just walk up to someone and go... You ever try to blow cake into a Numerian fighter's face?
No.
Me neither, but it sounds
Like
scary.
an ancient proverb of some sort.
But it sounds terrifying.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we just give them a piece each. That's fine.
Yeah. What if we say this is a sample for Cake Day, and we want to get the opinion of all of the greatest warriors in Numeria?
That's a great plan.
Perfect. Let's go to the cakery.
Okay.
It's like a bat, but it's a cake. Just spinning.
Cut to the cakery. Even in the dark of night, there's a lot of commotion, and indeed the ovens and the pillars. The ovens are red hot, and the smokestacks of the bakery district spew forth a great smoke of or steam. I don't know. How does baking work? There's a lot of commotion and work still being done. But there is a gathering of several of the head bakers that are arguing loudly with one another, and Nyla is kind of standing in their midst.
Oh, Butts, I forgot about her. She's canceling Cake Day.
We'll just say that they're the only ones getting cake.
Oh,
And they're special because they're competitors.
your idea sounds way more official than mine does. I was going to say steal the cake. Let's do yours. You can talk because you're a princess.
Nyla, can I have the cake?
Wow.
Grace and elegance.
Just the Miss America pageant theme song is playing in my head. Oh, I never would have thought.
She turns and looks you guys over and says, under the Queen's command, no one is to have any cakes. Cake Day has been canceled. And these fools just think that they can argue their way out of it.
I'm just going to snap my fingers and like snap a cake out of their hands into my hands.
Well, they don't have any cakes. They're just arguing.
Oh.
Yeah. The cakes are still being baked and whatnot, right? The facilities are still working, but you guys arrived like just after she started to tell everybody, and they're like all get the royal bakers, like the heads of the kitchens of the bakeries are all like, you're getting pissy because they've been told that Cake Day's canceled and they've been working overtime to make all these cakes.
In that case, Wesley is going to just straight up lie. And he's going to say, actually, when you left, there was like a few minutes that we were alone with the Queen and you weren't there because you were doing the whole cake thing. And she told us that we should get at least one cake so that we can try to figure out what this Quicksilver is. And he like looks at all of the chefs and figure out what it is and why it makes people sleep forever.
You're a screaming cat in the background.
No, I'm so
No, you're good. It's just
It adds to the drama.
It's an alley cat. Somebody go
Yes.
kick the cat.
Yeah.
Yes. Elsewhere, a cat person is in a bar fight.
From
He
Felenia.
just wants love.
The feline kingdom, Felenia.
He's the cat version of me. Just want love.
Yes.
Give me a lap, please.
I'll scream for affection.
Please fed me. Give me a roll.
Clever?
Yeah.
All right. Do I have anything that helps me? Nope. 3.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose you can. There's be no harm in taking a single cake.
Yeah. And it's not like we have an entire cake that I've just been holding on to this whole time that I forgot about until right this second.
I was wondering about that, but I decided not to say anything.
Listen, Natalie, you're not in this scene. You're
I know,
punching. You're
I'm
punching
fighting.
things.
That's what I've been doing in the background. It's great.
I'm supposed to be like the smart, like, no nonsense one, and we've been walking around with a cake.
Wesley's
cake in your
holding
pocket.
a cake. He's holding it, and then he says all that, and then gets the second cake, and now he has no hands, and he looks at both cakes, and then
Well, now
he
you
just
have two cakes.
slowly looks up to Poppy, and shrugs, and starts to thank you, and he starts to turn around holding 2 cakes as he goes.
Wesley,
Yeah,
nothing.
whole time, had the whole time.
The whole time.
Yep, I was holding it right out in front of me the whole time.
You are efficient.
Thank you.
All right. Cut to Vesper. Give me a set the scene for us. What's your training montage looking like?
Exactly what I've been doing, which is punching. No, I'm gonna go with she's got there's of course like royal training grounds and stuff like that, which she would have like been raised on effectively, with the like very typical punching dummies and all that stuff. It's a big sand pit and everything. It's weaponry kind of all along the wall. It's this big circular room otherwise. So she's been down there kind of like just punching things as much as she can and kind of like going from from dummy to dummy and trying to like, that's what she keeps doing, is just making her way around the circle doing that.
You
Yes.
run, you run away. It's your heart that you betray. It's just punching.
Singing while she's at it.
Yes.
Oh,
Perfect.
no.
Yeah. She has her own soundtrack.
In the midst of your like building up to your heated, impassioned battling, and you throw this wild punch in your rage at your mother. You're like,
yeah,
I don't know, maybe are you crying? How intense is your rage and frustration with your mother in this moment?
It's pretty she's pretty upset. She's pretty frustrated. It tender heart under all the muscles, like that one aspect. And because she thinks she's alone right now, she would probably, there's like a couple of tears that, like, you can see a couple of tear stains kind of having gone down. And
yes.
So there's definitely like, one on each side at this point, but she's just trying to punch it out.
Easily disguisable as sweat, just in case.
Oh yeah, just in case anybody shows up.
Yeah. There's just an absence of glitter right here. Is what it is.
I know, right? It's a weird trail.
Yes, a streak where the glitter has washed away.
Yeah.
Well, as you throw a wild punch in your rage, you feel your fist being caught by another hand, and the hand is old and wrinkled, with bright pink long fingernails, and as you look up to the face, you see that of your grandmother, #the last glamazon, Lady Tristan, and she wipes away the tear under your eye and says, "It's so good to see you, Vesper."
Oh, grandmama! Just go into a hug.
And she has the like kind of the old lady like afro hair, like when it's like really really thin and have to do it in that kind of style, but it's like dyed a bright pink color, and even in her age, she is mighty and radiant. And embraces you, and then holds you at a distance after a long embrace and looks into your eyes, and she says, "You've seen your destiny, have you, child?"
I mean, technically somebody else kind of saw it, but yeah. I need to get the crown. It's actually kind of to save the whole kingdom, but I don't think Mom barely believed everything else I told her. I don't think she's gonna believe anything from the temple and the lids, so.
Your mother is an idiot.
Yeah, I know.
I can say that. I birthed her.
She just, like, Vesper actually just straight up laughs at that. She loves it. So she always got along better with her grandmother. Yeah, so I mean, I need to get the crown, and the only way she's going to even consider me with it is if I win this stupid tournament. So I'm just going to punch them all until there's nothing left to punch.
Have you considered tapping into this destiny that you've seen? This fusion that's been written of in ancient lore.
You know of this whole thing?
Of course. I've been in the temple.
Oh, God. Okay. It's madness. Did you have to fight a cake?
No, I did not.
Oh, hey, you had a way easier go than we did then. Leslie ate a snake thing. It's actually still really weird. So.
Well, it was many years ago before you were born, and the Hyperwoods were not so aggressive as they are now. So I suspect they were not as concerned about it being found. But when I found it, I knew that the one who would take after my style and my panache would be the one to inherit the powers inside that temple. So I have longed for this day to come.
I didn't think we could access the powers unless we get the 4 crowns.
Perhaps you can't activate the machine by the temple but you still have the power within you to join with the other shards of the Shattered Goddess.
And by shards, do you mean my friends?
I do. And I can show you the dance.
Okay.
And cut to dance montage with Grandma.
Oh my god. Yep, perfect.
And I know it's a little bit early, but I think that is a good place to.
I think that's perfect.
Just kind of like fades out from the ring as you watch the two of them just continue to practice and
yes.
Yeah.
She shows you the dance, the fusion dance, and
it goes back into the song from earlier from the fighting montage.
Yes.
and it's like, I am the warrior.
Yeah.
Oh, that is perfect. Guys, this has been episode 6 of Princesses of Skysea, called Masks and Crowns. It should be up on YouTube in the next couple days, and it'll be up on Patreon also in the next couple days as an audio podcast. For those of you that don't know, our shows are all on audio format on our Patreon. If you missed them or don't have the time to watch them at work, you can listen to them with your ears. So yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, Patreon's the best way to do that. Discord, join the conversation, come chat with us. Let's go around, do our introductions, we'll get the heck out of here, we'll go raid a friend of ours, and we'll be princesses for the rest of our lives, Wesley included. So we'll start with the dancing brawler herself. Natalie, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Oh my goodness, this has been great. I've been playing Vesper. My name is Natalie, also known as Chaotic Rogue. You can find me out on the Twitterverse at Chaotic Rogue is the best place to find me. What else am I up to? The coolest things right now are, well, I work with the Mage College, which is a TTRPG publishing company. We do a bunch of really cool stuff, especially for D&D 5e, but we're also branching out to other stuff. We have a bunch of really cool new products coming out this month and next, and the next few. I don't even remember this timeline. Shut up, Derek. I know I'm screwing this up. But otherwise, also starting Friday on Variant Roles, I'll be playing in a Dresden Files RPG, which is going to be really exciting because I love Dresden Files. Anyway, so those are my big things. I've got a couple of other streams. Just follow me on Twitter.
Hell yeah. With that, we'll jump right over to Kai. Kai, who are you? Where can we find you, and what are you up to?
Hi, I'm Kai, Stonefly_Kai, and my guest is Icarus, which you guys have heard all night. My orange cat who wears a bow tie. You can see him on Twitter. It's Stonefly_Kai. Also, what I'm up to. On Sundays, I play on Cobalt Press. We're doing a Midgard campaign, which is really fun. And then I do have some other games in the works, so follow me on Twitter so you can see what I'm up to.
Hell yeah. Speaking of up to cool things, let's jump over to Keith. Who are you? Where can we find you, and what are you up to?
Yes, Keith, you can find me at Material Components or at mcomponents on Twitter. I do a after-school program here in Nashville, teaching kids tabletop role-playing games, using a Powered by the Apocalypse system of our own making that encourages heroic morality and non-violent conflict resolution. And we have been training it to some new teachers that are going to be running it in the after school programs. We got starting in 2 weeks, we've got a 3-time per week thing happening here in Nashville, and hundreds of kids getting their lives touched by the GM of this insanity.
Fantastic.
So if you're into that, check out the Heroes Guild. Yeah. It
is really cool.
It's wild. Sometime I'll run you guys an adventure in the Heroes Guild, and you'll be overjoyed in that.
I would be seriously interested in that. Please do.
Dope. Please do. We'll put it on the show. That being said, guys, check out all these lovely faces. Follow them on all the Twitters, all that fun stuff. This is the final month of this season of shows. I said that last night, I believe, and I'm going to say it again. Next season, we are coming back with more Scum and Villainy. We are coming back with some Dungeons and Dragons, kind of. And we're coming back with a grim, dark fantasy game called Symbaroum, so check that out. That'll be starting in the beginning of October. So you have us for a few more weeks. And that being said, just so you guys can mark it on your calendars, September 28th is our next charity stream to help sick kids at extended stay hospitals. So mark that down as well for our big streamathon. And with that, we're going to go raid our friends over at Kobold Press, which we mentioned earlier. They are also playing a Midgard campaign called The World Tree Burns. So go check them out. Give them all of your hot sticky raid love. And from all this to you guys, bye-bye.
Bye.